In today's episode, I'm sitting down with Angela. She's someone I consider a soul sister. We met back in college, lived together, and she's actually the one who introduced me to my partner of 8 years. So this isn't just a random conversation. This is someone who's seen me and someone I've seen just as deeply. And in this episode, we're talking about her journey from being a people pleaser, losing herself completely, and finally finding her voice and changing everything. Before we get into this episode, I want to give you a little bit of context. One of the core principles behind the work that I do is the idea of truly knowing yourself, to know what you are and what you are not. And that kind of clarity doesn't come from thinking about it. It comes from lived experience, from the patterns in your life, and from the way your reality has been speaking to you this entire time. And most people don't realize that the answers they're looking for have already shown up, just not in the way that they're taught to recognize. Every person has a unique path shaped by their experiences. The things that worked, the things that didn't, the moments that felt aligned and the ones that didn't. And when you start to look at your life from that lens, it stops feeling random. It starts to feel like a pattern you can actually understand and work with. Now that's where I come in. What I do is help people get clear on that path, connecting the dots between who they've been, what they've gone through, and where they're meant to go next. Taking what might feel like confusion or even failure and turning it into direction. And through these conversations with my clients, what you're hearing are real examples of that process happening in real time. So if you're listening to this and you feel like you're in a moment where something isn't fully clicking yet, or you're trying to understand what your next step is, this is meant to give you a deeper perspective on what that process can look like. Let's get into it.
So we met through college. I decided to join a sorority, and then I saw Christine there, and it was love at first sight.
She is like a sister from another mother, for real. And we lived together, and you introduced me to my mans.
I did.
You have totally transformed from who you were when I first met you till today.
Yeah, I remember when we first met, I was just such a people pleaser. Also, when I met you, I tried to please you. I saw you and I was like, oh my gosh, like, I want to be her friend. But the thing is, like, even though I'm a people pleaser, I try to, like, surround myself still with people I want to become. Even today, I still think I am. I'm just a little bit more picky with who I still let into my life. Like,
Absolutely.
back then, I was just like, oh, even if I like didn't want to be like them, I was like, oh, I still want to be their friend.
There were like a few pivotal moments in your life where you came to that realization.
You know what's crazy is every one of those times, I'm pretty sure it's because I talked to you. After talking to them and then talking to you, you kind of like opened my eyes into seeing their bullshit. And I'm like, listening to what they were telling me and like trying to think like them, I was just like more and more lost. I didn't have any grounding, no foundation. I have no opinions. You know, if I mess up, it's my fault. Like, I have to like deal with it.
So it was like a year you were kind of in it.
Yeah, that was bad. I've never been so depressed in my life. Oh! The very first thing, like right into college, you know my old roommate? That messed me up big time. Like, what happened with us made me downfall. So she basically blamed me for everything. She kind of used a lot of her past trauma onto like our friendship, right? If I wanted to make new friends, like she would use her past trauma against me and be like, oh, I told you, like, everybody always leaves me and stuff. Like, our friend group too, like, they would hear that, like, I would go out and then basically leave her alone, like, in the dorm, right? And they'd get mad at me. Like, I did not sign up to be, like, caregiver.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
know, like, I thought we were just friends. After she tried to, like, it messed me up. I think after that, like, that's when I started mainly trying to people please. I did blame myself a little bit to an extent, because that's what I was being told, you know, by everybody. Like, whatever I was feeling, like, if I was hurt, I can control my own hurt, but I can't control, like, other people's hurt.
Right.
So that's why, like, I mainly started people-pleasing. Try so hard
to
not hurt or affect anybody else in a negative way, to the point where it's, like, it's fake, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I was so fake. Like, oh, I have to be a certain way. for like me to be accepted. Everybody just like looking down on me or like talking shit about me and stuff. It added so much where like I just always wanted to be accepted by everybody. You know?
I mean, it's human nature to want to be liked and included.
Yeah. You know, when you're so lost, you don't know you're lost. You think
you're in it.
Yeah, like you think that's you until you reach a point where it's like, dang, who am I? Yeah, and then I realized you were just like goofy. You know, I was actually going through my old pictures.
We had a lot of. I feel like we brought out the goofiness, inner child within each other.
Yeah,
it was so comfortable.
But that brought out like, that made me see like who I really was. You know, because it just felt so comfortable. Yeah. Where it's like, you know, when you feel a level of comfort, like you're like, oh wow, like this is actually me. I can just be calm, like happy. My mind is like clear, like. And she just accepts me for who I am. That's kind of when I also saw like, all right, I'm starting to find who I am. But like before that, before I got to like find that comfort, you were probably the first person I did feel like 100% like comfortable around. I think once I moved out of the dorms, I think that's when I started trying to like find myself, see myself. But I was alone a lot more. That's when I started living with you. You're the first person I moved out with.
When we were living in Treehouse, COVID hit.
Oh, yeah.
What happened in COVID? Because I know I moved out a little bit early, but you were still in there.
Yeah. That's when I started losing myself again. When I moved back home, oh my gosh, I was so sad. All I did was work, go home, and then I had like a lot of FOMO. And then I was getting like very possessive, like of my friends. Okay. Because I was so far, I think, I didn't want to be forgotten. And then it kind of put like bitterness in me. Like I would get mad at them. It's not like we weren't friends still, but I was like kind of pushing them away at this point. It kind of brought me back to like, I just want to be accepted fully. And that's when I started like going on walks and stuff. If you feel like you're getting too deep into it in a negative way, just look up. The world is actually like so beautiful. Like you look up, you see like a flower. What can I do to be better and be like a flower? You know, like,
you self-regulated.
Yeah, at the end of the day, like all you want in your life is peace. What can I do to get there? What's triggering your negative emotions and your anger, and how can you like be better?
I'm so freaking proud of you.
Yeah,
listening to this is so beautiful.
That was a journey though.
Yeah, absolutely. We didn't reconnect till you were in PB, right?
Yes. Wait, is that how we reconnected? We had a synced dream. I texted you one random day, and then I was like, Oni, like, I just had a dream about you. And you're like, wait, what the heck? Like, I had a dream about you, too.
You came in for nails, and that was the first time I've seen you in, like, years.
When we rekindled, that was a good time, too. That was also another turning point for me. I got really drunk. I was so, like, lost in this point of time where it's, like, I was starting to revert back. I was getting a little bit too comfortable. What am I doing with my life? Am I going to be forever like this? I've never been so embarrassed in my life.
What happened?
I blacked out, first of all. I was back on my, like, 2017 drunk Angela gang era. So messy. Like, I was, like, talking to everybody. Like, I don't even know what I was talking about. Yeah, and then I quit because I was like, okay, I can't show face here anymore. Like, I'm so embarrassed. And then PB opportunity came. That's when I was like, all right, I gotta step outside of my comfort zone and then try something new. I stuck it out, though, which is good. In this period of time, like, I'm going through my breaking my cycle phase. You know, like I told you, like, oh, I'm just trying to, like, do makeup more, do things that I don't really normally do in my daily life.
Right.
Just to, like, get out of a routine.
Remember, you know, you were working long hours and taking on a lot more than what was originally assigned to you, right?
Yeah.
So, but then that recently has changed. So can you talk about a little bit about the before and the after?
Okay, so I'm a pushover. You tell me to do something, I'll do it. Especially like since my boss is my friend. It was like, I wanted to help him out, obviously. So in the beginning, I did a lot. Everything that I thought would help my manager or like my friend. So he was working like 7 days a week. Well, we're both working 7 days a week at this point.
Because it was a new location,
Yeah,
right?
New location. Everybody started quitting in the beginning. So I felt really bad for my manager because he was basically taking on like all the stress of it, right? So he had to like either find new workers or like try to figure out like how to get the products out. I tried to help him out. I was like, hey, if you need me to help, like, I can help you out. Take a day off. Like, I'll cover you. Just teach me how to, like, do the manager stuff. I'll be your temporary AGM, assistant general manager. But, like, he can't cover me.
Right.
But I didn't think about that in the
Right.
beginning, because I would just make cakes and I'll go home. And so I started working 7 days, and like one of those days I was working from like 6 a.m. to like 9:30 p.m.
That's crazy.
Like, since it was the beginning too, there's so many problems like with like customers and stuff like that. So like,
Were you getting compensated during that time?
no, I was not. So I did this all as a homie, I guess, because in my mind I was like, all right, if I do this for him, or like if he sees that I'll be there for him, like I'll support him, whatever, like, because he's a friend, you know, if I need it too, like I know he'll have my back too. Wasn't the case. At the end of the day, he can't really help me because he can't make cakes. I basically had to make everything, and I was getting really stressed out because they kept telling me like, do this, do that, but it's like, I'm only one person. You're asking me to do like 3 different jobs right now. Like,
Right.
other people were coming to me, and I would tell him, like my friend, I thought he would have my back and like talk to them, because at the end of the day, he's the manager. You know what I
Right.
mean? But he was like, oh yeah, like I don't know. And I'm like, what do you mean you don't know? At first, I couldn't understand, like, why is this dude not having my back? Like, I
So
don't
was
get
he
it.
still taking a day off?
Yes.
Okay, so are you working 7 days a week?
Yes.
And he's taking 6?
Yes.
And how long was it, this period that you were covering and doing all this?
Oh my gosh, it was like the first year. And then to the point where, like, I got sick of saying stuff. So I was just like, you know what, whatever, like, I'm not going to say anything anymore. That's when I started losing my, like, voice. Oh, I kind of just gave up saying anything, and I kind of just internalized it. But I was just, like, burnt out. And then I went to come see you. You did something to open my vocals. Dude, it was, like, crazy, too. Like, you can see it in my face. The change was, like, 360.
Yeah, you started glowing.
Yeah, because I started, like, speaking up, telling my manager, like, if I really need something from him, like, I'll tell him, like, okay, like, I need this, this, and this. And if you're not going to do it, then I'm not going to do this. You know, like, because I need to finish my job at the end of the day. I can't be juggling yours. And so he actually started helping me out. Like, some of the days where I couldn't really help out in the front of the house, he would hire more people to work that day to be in the front, so I can only focus on my job. So I was like, oh shit, like, okay, he's actually like listening to me now.
Right.
I was like, all right, okay. And then that helped me focus more on like my duties, even with my coworkers and stuff. Like, they would tell me like, oh, I need you to do this. I used to like not bother saying anything to them. Once I realized like they're taking advantage of that, I was like, no, I can't.
And so how are your relationships with your coworkers now? Like, do you feel as though they respect you much more now?
Yeah, which is crazy, because even though like I don't agree with them and I tell them, I kind of explain it to them where it's like why it doesn't make sense. And since they see that like, okay, like I'm making sense, like they kind of respect like what I say more a little bit. So like even if I tell them to like do something, I don't even have to explain why I'm telling them to do it, because they just know like, okay, like that makes sense. Really seeing like how they work as a business and how they are as people, I know that they're not as understanding as like I thought they were. So now it's like, all right, I'm not going to be as understanding to you guys either then.
Right.
Like, I'm just going to do my job. And then now I'm like at peace. I feel more in control. I feel like I have so much more time. A lot of stressors don't really stress me out anymore, because I know if I think about it and I vocalize it, it'll be fine. But back then I would stress about it because I wouldn't say anything. And like I would just
keep it
hold it in, and I'll go home and I'll rant to Wilson, you know what I
Right.
mean? But now it's kind of just like, hey, this doesn't make sense. Either can you explain it to me why you want it this way, or I'm not going to do it. And then if they don't have an explanation, I'm not doing it. And they know that too. So that's why they don't really put stuff on me anymore if it doesn't make sense. And it kind of makes them think too what actually makes sense.
Damn, you really do train people to how to treat you.
Yeah, and like just think, you know, like just think about the situation. Get out of your high horse. Really try to like understand people.
Exactly.
You know? It's not even that hard to be understanding. But this world is making, like, me realize, I guess it is.
A lot of people think they can get away with a lot of things, but until somebody speaks up and says something about it and knows, like, oh, this is not going to go unnoticed, then they start to make the changes. And honestly, it's the changes that they already know they should make.
Yeah.
That's
what I realized, too.
Yeah.
Like, they know, but they just choose not to, which makes me so angry
Right.
sometimes.
Because it's like, why are you not taking accountability?
Yeah.
And doing your part?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God, Angela, you've been through a whole whirlwind, but hell yeah, you gained your power back. You gained your strength back.
And
you set the boundaries.
Yeah, every year I feel like I'm growing, and that's like a good feeling.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, there's dips,
of course, it's life.
But it's life.
And I think what Angela's story really shows is how easy it is to lose yourself trying to be liked. She went from constantly people-pleasing to losing her voice completely, to repeating the same pattern again in different areas of her life, until she finally saw it. And the moment she started speaking up, setting boundaries, and actually choosing herself, everything shifted. So if you feel like you're in that space right now, where something isn't fully clicking yet, this is exactly the kind of work I guide people through, both online and in person. And if you want to experience it for yourself, I offer private readings, and for the Psychic Nail experience, you can DM me on Instagram. Everything is linked in my bio. I'll see you in the next episode!